Greetings, YouTube! The Doctor is in. Dr. Urias Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons and Dragons, and welcome to the channel that takes power gaming to the next level. Today on the Doctor Spell Prognosis, we're talking about the spell Magic Jar. We're giving this one a B+, but first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or comment, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I've got another video out. All right, Magic Jar. This has applications for players, and it also almost equally has applications for DMs. So let's take a look at the spell. It is a 6th level spell that is only usable by wizards, but a 14th level bard could get this with magical secrets. So it takes 1 minute to cast. Not really going to be cast in combat, but it can be used in combat. It's kind of iffy. It's got verbal, somatic, and material component. It does have a material component that costs 500 gold pieces, but it is not consumed with the spell. It's the jar itself. It lasts until it's dispelled. It is necromancy. So when your body falls into a catatonic state as your soul leaves and enters the container you use for the spell's material component. So this is upon casting the spell. So while you inhabit the container, you're aware of your surroundings as if you were in the container space. So it's essentially like you're standing next to the container. You cannot move and you cannot use reactions. The only action you can take is to project your soul up to 100 feet out of the container, either returning to your living body, ending the spell, or attempting to possess a humanoid's body. And it's got to be a humanoid. So a lot of people don't understand that. That is a very specific thing. A humanoid. You can attempt to possess any humanoid within 100 feet of you that you can see. Creatures warded by protection from evil and good, which doesn't really stop evil and good. I don't know why they called it that, but... And magic circle cannot be possessed. So the target has to make a charisma save. That's an awesome save. Very hard for it to work. Now, because of the limitation of this, you can't just possess anything. You can only possess a humanoid body. On a failure, your soul moves into the target's body. It should say the target humanoid's body. And the target humanoid's soul becomes trapped in the container. So wherever you see target, just substitute target humanoid in there, because it is a humanoid. On a success, the target resists your efforts to possess it, and you can't attempt to possess it again for 24 hours. So once you possess a creature's body, you control it. Your game statistics are replaced by the statistics of the creature. Though you retain your alignment, your intelligence, your wisdom, and your charisma, basically you are consciously there. But your physical stuff is whatever humanoid that you are possessing. So you retain the benefit of your class features. And if the target has any class levels, you cannot use any of its class features. Meanwhile, the possessed creature's soul, which is in the jar now, can perceive from the container using its own senses, basically as if it were standing next to the container just like you. It can see all around. But it cannot move or take actions at all. So no bonus actions, no movement. It shouldn't be able to take a reaction either. So while possessing a body, should say while possessing a humanoid's body, you can use your action to return from the host humanoid body to the container if it is within 100 feet of you, returning the host humanoid creature's soul to its body. If the host humanoid body dies while you're in it, the humanoid creature dies, and you must make a charisma saving throw against your own spell DC. So, if you got a great charisma saving throw, or we're going to talk about something else, then, and it's against your spell DC, you could whack a creature instantly with this. So on a success, you return to the container if it is within 100 feet of you. Otherwise, you die. If the container is destroyed or the spell ends, your soul immediately returns to your body. If your body is more than 100 feet away, or if your body is dead when you attempt to return to it, you die. If another creature's humanoid soul is in the container when it is destroyed, the creature's humanoid soul returns to its humanoid body if the humanoid body is alive and within 100 feet. Otherwise, that humanoid creature dies. When the spell ends, the container is destroyed. Okay, so when you cast a spell, you flip out of your body. So one of the big questions is, how are you going to transport your body? Because if you're going to cast this, you're going to be walking around in another humanoid's body, then you gotta be within 100 feet of your own body, which means you're carrying it around. So that is a question. And then the container, who's going to be walking around with the container? Because the container needs to be within 100 feet of you too. So how's the container going to get transported? So let's talk about this right here. Polymorph doesn't necessarily work because the spell transform a creature that you can see within range into a new form. Spell has no effect on a shape changer. The new form can be any beast, so that doesn't work. True polymorph, however, does. If you turn a creature into another creature, the new form can be any kind you choose whose challenge rating is equal to or less than the target's or its level if the target doesn't have a challenge rating. So that is a problem as well. That's a problem as well. The target's game statistics, including mental ability, blah, blah, blah. So that, and if you turn an object into a creature, you can turn an object into any kind of creature as long as the creature's size is no larger than the object size and the creature's challenge rating is 9 or less. So that actually is an option. So you could change an object for an hour into a humanoid creature of challenge rating 9 or lower. This one is limiting because it's limited by the target's challenge rating. So you couldn't, for instance, use your homunculus, because the homunculus is a creature with a challenge rating of 0. You could possess your homunculus. I would not suggest doing that considering it's only got 5 hit points. It could have more because of the spell, but and that may be where you want to put your body for the time, but it is a challenge rating 0, which means that you can only change it into challenge rating 0 stuff. So there is that. You could and we're talking about true polymorphing a creature that you control, true polymorphing it into something, and then you possess its body. Find familiar has a number of familiars. Unfortunately, most of these things have a challenge rating of like an 8th, or 0, or 0, or an 8th. So they're not super high, so you're not really going to get very far with that. Now, one thing I would suggest is if we go to monsters and we want to look at humanoids and we want to let's sort this by challenge rating, and there's a lot. So if we go to page 41 of humanoids, well, these are all challenge rating 18s and so on. So let's go back down a bit. Okay, here we go. I think they all start here. Yeah, here we go. Okay. So there's a whole bunch, like the War Priest. So technically, spell casting is part of a thing's class feature, so you wouldn't be able to use this. This probably, it's up to the DM on what's a class feature and what's not a class feature. They get multi-attack with the maul. They get this holy fire thing. I'm not sure if that's a class feature or not. There's a whole bunch of them. There's a bunch of them. If we go here to 36, there's a bunch of nice level 9 humanoids. Let's see here. Necromancer, Wizard. You are a Necromancer anyway. Githyanki, Xenomaster. Garl, Shatterkeel, a Flind. which is a legacy thing. So they have an aura of bloodthirst. This is not, there's no class features on this. So you could be a Flind. There's a bunch of nice ones. A Drow House Captain has some spell casting, but these are part of the, just because I know that they're part of the actual race of the thing. So these are just some ideas for matching up True Polymorph with Magic Jar. But remember, you're limited by attempting to take the possession of a humanoid's body. Only humanoids. And if you use True Polymorph, you pretty much have to turn an object into a creature. Or if you have a creature whose challenge rating is pretty high, then you can turn it into a very high challenge rating humanoid. Again, it's only for an hour. Now, let's go to the question, what is good for Create Undead? We've talked about this spell before. Well, you bring forth all these dead creatures that could be carrying around your body. So this kind of answers the question, how to transport the body and how to transport the jar. If you want to do that. And so your Create Undead could technically haul your body and the jar around, so they're always within 100 feet of you or wherever your soul is at the moment. You could get one of these wonderful mounts that can move around too. I mean, the Mastiff is always a really good one, but you get a war horse for 400 gold. At this level, you could afford any one of these, and they could also transport your body around. An elephant definitely could transport your body, and then you could have like a little thing that transports the jar around too. Now, as far as wizards go, if you are a divination wizard, you have the portent ability, okay? Which means that you could roll really high and you could possess the body of a humanoid creature, use it for a while, and then decide that it just needs to go. And if it dies, then the creature's dead. You could kill that body yourself while you're possessing it, and then you must make a charisma saving throw against your own spell DC. So the spell DC of a wizard casting the spell right around this level should be around 17 or 18. And if you rolled a high roll that day, then, or enough that you can make your own saving throw, you could just whack the creature and then return right back to your body. And problem solved for that combat. It's kind of a wonky way to do it, but it is a way to do it. All right, that is what I have for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.